Hello, everybody. My name's Michael. This is Jack, and we work for the Josephine and Jack project. Today, we thought we'd make a little video that might help you. Jack's a little bit concerned and he's a little bit worried about one of his friends. So we thought we'd ring Jack's friend, Adelina, who works for the police. So we're going to do that now. Let's give her a call. Hi, Adelina.
Hi, Michael and Jack. How are you today?
We're good, thank you. We thought we'd give you a little call to see if you could help us. Jack's got a friend who's been saying some worrying things, and Jack doesn't understand what it means.
That does sound difficult for you. What happened?
So, Jack's got a friend who's been sharing some videos on social media. These videos are about the Holocaust, but they're not the usual videos like about World War II. These videos are fake news, Jack says. It says things like the Holocaust didn't happen. Jack's friends also been saying things like Jews aren't very nice people, and that if he ever met a Jewish person, he wouldn't speak to them because we're better than Jewish people.
I can see why this is worrying you, but Jack's done the right thing saying something about it. We can definitely help. Before we start, do you know what the Holocaust was?
I know what the Holocaust was, but I'll just check with Jack. Okay. Jack says he knows a little bit about it and he thinks he knows a lot, but he's not too sure.
Well, just to explain, the Holocaust took place during the Second World War and was when the Nazi government in Germany, led by Adolf Hitler, killed over 6 million people for no other reason than they were Jews, and from other communities like travelers or gay.
That's horrible.
Yes, it is. And you can see how it would be upsetting to Jewish people if people were saying it didn't happen at all. Is there anything else unusual that Jack has noticed about that?
Yes, he's noticed that Dan has started to draw graffiti and doing these funny symbols, Jack calls them. But when we looked, we realised it was swastikas. He's also changed his profile picture to Adolf Hitler. And Jack thinks he's done this just to impress his new friends.
Oh dear, that doesn't sound good at all. Who are these new friends that Dan has? Has Jack ever met them?
No, he's never met them. He says he's only ever spoke to them online, and it's changed the way that Dan's behaving. So Dan is just locked up in his room all the time. He doesn't come out of his room. He stays on his computer. He thinks that Dan's just doing a lot of this to impress them. What can we do to help?
There is something called Prevent. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
Prevent is one part of the government's plan to deal with and stop bad things happening to us all. In it, we try our best to help people who could be making bad choices and choosing the wrong type of friends. Have you heard of terrorism?
Yes, we've heard about terrorism. Me and Jack actually spoke a lot about it when the Ariana Grande concert happened. It's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah, that was terrible. Terrorists are known to work in very secretive ways. You may have heard of the word grooming. This is when a person pretends to be your friend over time in order to get you to do things you should not do. There are many types of grooming, and one type is called radicalization. Radicalization is a word often connected to terrorism and means that someone changes the whole way they think about the world and does bad things as a result. Radicalization can be what happens to a good person when they're groomed by bad people. We know that young people in particular are vulnerable to being radicalized online through the internet. The internet can be a wonderful thing. However, sometimes those bad people, terrorists and radicalizers, can use it too. So they can pretend to be people they're not because they want to change other people to think like them. Your friend Dan could well be right at the start of this process. So you have done the right thing and the best thing to help your friend by telling Michael. Michael is someone you trust, like your carer, mom, dad, or a police officer. If you're worried about anything, you should always share your problem with someone you trust. They can check what you have noticed, and if they also think it seems wrong, then they can let us know too. Prevent is a safeguarding department of the police that can help people like Dan. What do you think would happen to Dan if he continues saying and doing the things that he had, Jack?
Could he get into trouble?
Yeah, he could. If someone does not help Dan, he could become more unhappy about not just Jewish people, but other groups and cultures around him. And as he gets older, he may start doing bad things because he listens to others who are not really his friends at all.
So what's going to happen now?
So, Jack, Michael will fill in a form to let us know in as much detail as he can about what has been happening. We'll then make an assessment of the things that are happening with Dan and decide how we or others can help and support him. This can be very simple and may involve Dan chatting with his parents or carers who can explain to him what is right and wrong. Sometimes we may think it's best to meet with other people, like social workers, who can help make a plan on how best to do this and support Dan and his family. There are many reasons why a person like Dan can become unhappy. And if those reasons are discussed, then the person changes the harmful things they're saying and becomes much happier. Is that a bit clearer now?
Yes, thank you. So, if Jack hears Dan saying anything worrying, harmful to other people, what he should do is tell me, tell his parents or his carer or anybody who he trusts about what's going on. And if they're worried, they can check it and then they can pass it on to whoever they want to pass it on to. Is that right?
Exactly. As we say, notice, check, and share.
Well, thank you, Adelina. It's been really helpful and we really appreciate you taking the time to answer our call. So thank you so much.
Thank you for approaching me, Michael and Jack. Good to see you again.
Thanks. Take care. Bye.
Bye.